Hi all, welcome. How are you? First of all, I feel like I need to apologize a little bit because I haven't done a video on this channel forever. If you've been following my work, you probably know why. I did a lot of sound design work for sample libraries. There is impromptu textual percussions that I've made for 0G samples. So I had to make a lot of videos for that. Go check it out. I think it's a really cool library. I'm really proud of how it turned out, and I'm gonna link it to the description. And also, most importantly, probably, I finally, put everything together and put all my sample library work into a web store, which is now officially called Sonora Cinematic. And go visit sonoracinematic.com. Again, I'm gonna put a link to the description, and that is gonna be a platform where I'm gonna put all my work as a sample developer. I have 4 very exciting instruments planned for 2021. One of them is a collaboration with another brand, which I'm really excited about. And then there is also these are all contact libraries. And then there is also another pretty cool project which is coming out very early 2021, which also involves me as a sound designer. And I'm really excited about all this new work coming up in 2021. Sonora Cinematic has also a brand new YouTube channel. I made about, I think it's 6 videos for it at the moment. So I'm gonna move all my sample library content to that channel, and this is gonna be my composer channel, and that is gonna be my sample developer channel, so everything is a bit more in order. Go subscribe to that channel as well. That would be really great. It's always tough to make a brand new channel grow quickly, so if you can help me out with that, it's fantastic. It would be fantastic. Should also mention that there is a 20% store-wide discount happening at Sonora Cinematic for the inauguration, so go there and check it out. In particular, there is even the Magnetism Volume 1 and 2 bundle now available at £49, which features also about 1 gigabyte of brand new content. So that's quite exciting. I think there is a pretty big update, and go see the walkthroughs and all that. Anyway, back to business. What I want to do today. Yesterday I was fixing a few things on my laptop because I'm not gonna come in the studio for about 10 days. I'm gonna take a little bit of a Christmas break, and I had to put some sessions that I might eventually need to access. And I was, while sorting things out, I noticed a few free sample libraries that I downloaded in the past few months. And this sort of made me think about the fact that there are so many free tools available that we should really, we shouldn't really complain about, the lack of tools and spending too much money. So I sort of thought that would be fun to make a very quick track. I literally sketched this in 1 hour or something like that yesterday from the laptop, and that it would be just a really cool exercise to write something using only free tools. And then there are 2 exceptions of 2 libraries that are extremely cheap. So they should count as something that is basically incredibly affordable. These 2 libraries are, well, one is not a library, it's a synth. It's Krotos Simple Concept. They did also a live stream showcasing their, actually more than one live stream showcasing their Krotos Concept synthesizer. And Simple Concept is like a simplified version of it, which is very cheap, runs for £24. And I got in touch with my friends at Krotos, and they were so kind to let me offer you guys a discount code to get it at 50% off. So I'm gonna link all the information below, but until the 1st of January, if you go to the Krotos webpage and you put in the discount code Sonora Cinematic, with a capital S and a capital C, you'll be able to get this 50% off, which is a steal. So that's basically £12, incredibly cheap. And the other library is Karani Marimba. There is this another company that I worked with in the past. This is a lovely marimba instrument. With a bit of a twist, and I really like it. This is the brushed shorts that has a pretty peculiar sound, and this is normally £50, but these days is only £9, I think, starting from yesterday. So go and check this one out. I also did a video on this instrument. I really like it. So this is £9, and simple concept is £12. Everything else is completely free. Well, there are a few libraries that do require contact full, but I think that you should really invest in contact full. It's the industry standard, and you can load so many cool libraries in it. So I'll show you the track, and we can talk a little bit about it afterwards. All right, definitely quite a bit of work that needs to be done in this. But let's have a look. So first thing first, the entire track was inspired by this typewriter, which is actually clipping quite hard. But anyway, I only did a very quick mixing using only stock plugins from Logic, only Logic stock plugins, because I thought it would fit in with the idea of producing with what you have. This is a fantastic library from Waves Factory, which is completely free. And this track was inspired to this because as soon as I saw this instrument, which is a, playable typewriter, I thought about one of my favorite film scores of all time, which is Dario Marianelli's Atonement. I think it's BAFTA winning score. Not sure about that, but it's a fantastic film score, one of my favorite. And if you know the film, you know what I'm talking about. So that sort of brought me into that world. There's also a little bit of Jan Tiersen and, a lot of other of my influences. And this is definitely not as beautiful as the incredible score by Dario Marianelli. This is also a piece that I wrote in about 1 hour. So. But yeah, it was a little bit inspired by that, so with this, I used the typewriter in this very rhythmic way over here. Let's see it. But anyway, this is obviously a piano-led track, and when you talk about free instruments, you can't avoid talking about the fantastic Spitfire Audio Labs soft piano, one of the best felt pianos out there. I really love it, use it all the time. So one thing that you notice right away is that it has this very basic melody. Okay, and one thing that you notice right away is that this is pretty heavily art quantized and the reason for that is that I actually wrote these as I said on my laptop with a tiny keyboard, MIDI keyboard, so I couldn't really play piano in it, so I pretty much penciled every note in and quantized it a little bit, and humanized it a little bit. So one thing that I always do was let's quantize it a bit more. I do have here in Logic a screen set, which is number 2, which is a piano roll with a humanized setting the way I like it. So I always suggest that you Command A that all the notes on the piano roll, then you avoid clicking the first one because you risk the first MIDI note to go before the region, and so when you go to bounce your track that won't play, and then you can click a couple of operate only and that should do it. It's a little bit more humanized. This is not the way to write music. You should play stuff in, and I normally do it, but yeah, this wasn't the case because I wrote it on my laptop. In fact, I don't even know how to play it because I written it in. Because I penciled it in. Let's see. It's that, right? I don't even know my own music. Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's right. All right. Yeah. They gone. All right, so it's pretty simple melody, but I quite like it. I think it's fun, and then it modulates in E minor. So the central section. And then repeat the same thing. Well, here 1 octave, and then here it goes with the same melody in E minor. All right. This is something that I do. It's a kind of modulation that I use loads in my own music. So this is the centerpiece of the track. This piano. Let's go right away to see what I've done with Simple Concept. Simple Concept, it's over here. It's doubling the melody with this patch, which I really like. I tweaked it a little bit. There is also this tweak it button in Simple Concept that lets you come up with a few settings under the hood that get changed. You see, I was giving that ambience to the melody, and I did very much the same with another library by Waits Factory, which is called the Music Box, and is a music box. There are loads of free music box available, but the thing that I really like about this is that you also get these mechanic sounds. See, there is this thing spinning, and also the charge. So I thought it would be fun to add that sort of charging sound just before the melody starts, as if it was a bit of a music box loading up. There you go. Okay, so what you get here is basically a melody doubled by 3 things. So you have the piano, which is the leading instrument, and then you get the music box, which gives you this attack, and this Simple Concept providing a bit of ambience. This needs much better mixing, by the way. Did some pretty basic and very mild EQing on the piano. Who needs some more care. concept thing, although now we press tweaked a couple of times, so I'm not sure how valid that is anymore. And very similar with the music box. I also put a low shelf on, thinking about 2 dBs on the eyes to make it sound a little more in, a little less harsh. The second thing that I want to check out is my own free library, and this is really exciting for me. You will probably remember Magnetica was a free contact instrument that I did, my very first contact instrument under my own name, actually. And Magnetica has been featured in so many places, and it's incredible. It's been downloaded thousands and thousands of times. It was recently featured by Native Instruments in one of their blogs on their best free sample libraries, which was an incredible honor. And because of the web store launch, I thought it would be cool to make a little bit of an update to this free library. So, I got the wrong octave on my keyboard. So Magnetica now is called Magnetica Redux. It has the same GUI as the magnetism libraries. It's a sample selection with a few more sound sources and a lot more controls. In the way I used it over here, I use the classic EBow sound. The reason why you're not hearing anything now is because there is a low pass filter, and I mapped the cutoff to CC1, so it opens up together with the main effects section. And I used it over here to open up to this second section. Oops. Very simple. And the second one is this new sound that is included in the new version of Magnetica, which is a heavily processed piano. So go check this one out. If you subscribe to the Sonora Cinematic newsletter, you can get Magnetica Redux for free. I'm gonna put the link down below, so maybe you're interested in that as well. And here I just use it to give a little bit of an accent to these to the notes of this second section. Let's have a look here. That's what was sounding weird. There, I think this is what I wanted to do. Maybe sticks out a bit too much, let's lower the velocity. Or maybe, you can keep it simpler and put it the octave lower. I don't know, maybe a C? Yeah. Okay, and here what you have, I think I used the internal delay, or yes, there is the internal delay with the diffusion algorithm, which is one of my favorite, reminds me a lot of the Strymon Big Sky. If you're a guitar player, you know what I'm talking about. And there is also some basic Logic stock tape delay with quarter notes. So I think that's quite fun. And now let's get to the second section. So for the short strings, I used the fantastic Project Sam free orchestra, and these short strings sound surprisingly well. And the cool thing about this is that this is a Contact player library, so you don't even need full version of Contact. You can just use it as is. The only thing that I did here is to bring the attack to 0. I think it defaults to a few milliseconds, and I really wanted that sharp sound. This is already probably not the kind of short string sounds that I would use for this kind of track. You want something more chamber, more with more attack, something like Spitfire chamber strings or something like that. But I wanted them to sound a bit crisp, and I think it works pretty well, especially with the marimba. If we were doing something else, using other libraries, but I'm sure there is a free pizzicato library out there, some pizzicatos on the basses, that would be nice. But, the point of this is to use only free tools or almost free tools. So this is with the marimba. This marimba really sounds excellent. I really like it. It's very quantized because I was lazy for the same reason that I told you before. Well, it's not that I was lazy. I just didn't have a keyboard. So look at that. This is terrible. So again, let's do some humanization. All right. Sounds all right in context. Not my finest work. Okay, and here, this is another patch, which I don't know is why short strings, because it should be Sordino strings, so let's name region by track name. This is another patch by Project Sam Free Orchestra, which are, Sordino violin, which actually sounds really lovely. I use this patch a lot on so many projects. Again, the only thing that I did here is that it defaults to velocity, controlling the dynamic. Which I guess it's okay, but I really wanted the module to control it a little bit. Okay, and the other cool thing that you can do is to put this dream filter on. In fact, why don't we change it to this? You see, I think that's quite cool. Much cooler. And you see, I just put some module data in. Not very well. As I said, my excuse is that I didn't have a keyboard. But actually, you see, I think I did play this one in, because probably it was small enough to play it in my small MIDI keyboard. Yes, now that I remember it, I did send it to another reverb. Again, in the spirit of keeping everything stock, I just loaded a large hole on Space Designer in Logic, which is actually not bad of a reverb. It sounds pretty nice. I think I used another reverb, which is Chroma somewhere. There you go. I use this one where this is on bus 32, so I used it on Magnetica actually. Okay, so on Magnetica I used the Chroma reverb. That also sounds pretty nice, and there's one of the coolest interfaces out there. Look at this. Beautiful. If you diffuse it even more, it gets sort of blooming colors, which is really nice to see. And here I did a variation on the melody doubling. So here you have it doubled again by the music box, which you can clearly say that I lazily copied it in from Simple Concept. And the other one is this Simple Concept flow, and this is actually one of my favorite patches in Simple Concept. I mentioned it also on on the live stream that I did. It has a really cool tail, especially if you open the filter. Okay, and actually I think I automated this a little bit. Yes, so you see that I automated the macro one so that it opens the filter app. Can you hear this tail? It has. I'm pretty sure there's an impulse response of some sort, and it sounds really cool, I think. And again with the EBO here. So as I was re-listening, you know, when you hear tracks the day after, you always think about a million variations. One thing that I noticed right away that would be cool here is, first of all, the strings should do a bit of a crescendo. Again, these are all penciled in, so look at that. This is disgusting. So the first bit, I think we are going to leave them as they are, dynamic wise, but quantize them a few times here. It's a little bit better, but probably still not great. I really wish these were pizzicatos. This would be pizzicato. You would need a double bass as well. Let's at least double it to the double bass. Yes. Oh, and here as well. Okay, and here what I would do is a little bit of a crescendo, so we can simply draw an automation like that. And with this selected, again, we can humanize it a little bit. Again, don't write music like this. This is awful. It's bad MIDI programming, but you know, it's fast and it's just for showcase again. And I think about here we should double it to the octave at bar 43. Here. Yes, definitely. You definitely want to double this at the octave. In fact, one thing that we can do, I don't know if you know this command in Logic. If you shift F the notes, it selects all following, and then you can option drag it to copy it. That's pretty cool. And so, yes. At least it's something. So again, a lot more mixing needed, but let's hear it from the beginning. there was a, just noticed that I was sort of trying to adjust a few faders. It definitely needs mixing, but I think it was a very fun experiment. I mean, yes, if you own full contact, which I think you should, and by the way, this is also very much doable without full contact, because Spitfire Audio Soft Piano uses their own native plugin, so you don't need full contact, and the orchestra, the free orchestra by Simple Sam, by Project Sam, is also a contact player library, and Simple Concept is a standalone plugin, and it's only £24. That drops to £12 if you use my discount code Sonora Cinematic, which I am going to write down in the description. So you can literally write this basically for free. If all you need to own is a computer and a DAW, and Logic comes pretty cheap. And I think this is a really creative thing to do, even if you don't have financial limitations in the number of tools that you can have, or if you just happen to have a lot of sample libraries like I have. It's really nice to put constraints, to put limits to your own creativity and see what you can come up with. And I personally think that with some mixing, just with Logic plugins, this is a perfectly usable track. I mean, you can literally write a film score just with the tools you have. If this video is appreciated, I think I want to do a few more of this. Maybe this use what you have can become a bit of a series. And I really hope you enjoyed it. And I'm gonna link down a link to get Magnetic Redux. If you want to subscribe to this channel and to my other channel, Sonora Cinematic, that would be lovely and very much appreciated. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.